Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling message from your higher self, your angels, the universe, spirit, and any spirit guides that are around you at this time to see if we can get some messages of hope, of any divine guidance, or any spiritual relief coming through today. So if you found this video, then this message is most likely for you. In essence, Spirit wants to give you a pep talk, and that's what we are going to do today. It feels like it might be a little bit slow around you right now because I think we're at time recording in Mercury retrograde right now. So if things are moving slow around you, that's okay. This is a time of pause. This is a time of reflection and resting. So while you're in the middle of whatever you're going through, transformation, just know that you are doing okay. And it's perfectly normal to feel like things are kind of like wading through the mud almost. That's pretty much the sense and the energy that I'm feeling right now going into this. So first of all, you're doing great, sweetie. Everything's gonna be okay. So again, if you found this and this is a message for you and this is a timeless reading, you don't have to be Mercury retrograde to feel this right now. This often happens sometimes if you've been going through a psychic upgrade, and if that resonates with you, then this is definitely a message keeping you on the right track. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I welcome you. Everything that you can do to help this channel is appreciated, and just you being here and on the spiritual journey alongside the community is helpful. And that's another thing I want to say. It's not easy to be doing this, and if you've been going down a more spiritual, highly aligned path and evolving and growing, you are already doing so amazing and fabulously well. And I'm just going to say that you are amazing and you are a dear, brilliant soul. And let this be the beginning of your pep talk. I'm trying to get into it. I feel like because it's Mercury, there's a little bit of this feeling of being stuck. And I feel like my tires are spinning, and maybe you feel like you're not going anywhere right now. So everything is going to be okay. I'm hearing one of your spirit guides say you're going to be very fabulous. If you have been doing remote work, there might be this need to shake up your routine and clear out any stagnancy. If you feel like you're having a hard time getting ideas or your thoughts together, go out for a walk or just get outside in the sunshine. I'm seeing there's a lot of very bright sunlight colors surrounding this energy, this collective. I'm also seeing like there's a lot of also I'm getting this feeling like there's this hesitation, like I can't get the words out, and this has been happening, and I realize that some of this might actually be because of Mercury in retrograde. I'm hearing there's a pause needed for the collective. But if this is the case with you, this is actually a good thing, because it means you've done so much of the work already that your body needs to go into its relaxation and rest phase. And it's going to be better for you if you don't resist it, because overcoming a lot of these challenges you might be facing or have faced and might continue to face in the future, it's going to be easier in the long run, no matter what the outcome might be, for you just to take a pause and give yourself mental rest. Because one of the things that I'm seeing going on right now is there's a lot of good stuff coming your way. There's a lot of abundance coming your way, and I'm feeling most of you might need some mental rest. If some of you have a Mercury in an air sign placement, like your Mercury placement might you might need to look at it, because if you feel like you're stuck or you feel like you can't get anything out or you can't think properly, your Mercury might actually be in an air sign, or you might have been born in a Mercury retrograde season, because I'm seeing if you have a Mercury and Aquarius placement this season, or even like Aquarius season either has been or seems to be a little bit of a time where it feels stuck. Because I keep hearing the phrase, I'm stuck in the mud. Like, you're spinning your tires. You know you want to get somewhere, but you're going nowhere, and it's hard. Like, that's how I feel inside of me. And it's going to be okay. It's just about giving yourself that grace, because you're doing so amazing. Like, nothing is going to slow you down, but sometimes when it's mud season, you're going to run into that. You're still going to get to where you need to go, even if it feels like you're going nowhere fast. But sometimes you have to get somewhere slowly to avoid burning out going nowhere fast, if that makes sense. And if you're already doing that, let this just be confirmation you're doing the right thing. But if you seem to be struggling a little bit more, if you have been needing to work on your throat chakra or do some healing in that regard, looking at your Mercury placement might clue you in on what you would need to do and your strengths and maybe some disadvantages. And let's just say, like, all of your hard work is paying off. When I was meditating before this reading, some of the images that came to mind were a lion, which could mean Leo season, or just having courage and the strength to overcome challenges and being that sort of king of the forest mentality where you are just breaking through no matter what. And not in the sense of, you know, being a cowardly lion, because the whole thing with the message of that story with the cowardly lion in the Wizard of Oz is he had courage all along. Like, he didn't have anybody, he didn't need to actually be given that. He just had it inside of him. So there's this need to overcome obstacles by tapping into that very much fiery Leo energy. So that also look at any Leo placements you might have in your chart, or Leo season might be something that is relevant to you. Also stepping into your confidence, your solar plexus. There might be some solar plexus work you need to do, but there's a lot of very vibrant yellow energy around you. The color orange came up as well. So sacral, solar plexus, and even root chakra might need some work. And it feels like this season that you're in right now, or if you're in retrograde season, if you're watching this at time of recording, this is a good season to slow down, take a rest, and focus on yourself, because you've been doing the hard work, you've been putting in the effort, and it seems that it's not paying off, but in a sense it really is. You just might need to take a step back from the situation itself, because it's hard to see your progress when you're working on something, when you're still in the middle of it and your mindset is still set on the end of a project, or a a anything you're working on. Like, I'll give an example. Like, when I started to like focus on my health and diet and exercise, like, I didn't know how much my body was changing. Like, I didn't even notice when I looked in the mirror, like, how much I was changing. My skin looked clearer. I was losing weight. I was feeling so much better. I didn't really recognize the changes, but people who hadn't seen me in a while saw me emerging like a few years later, and like, who the heck are you? You literally glowed up and you didn't even know it. And I didn't really notice how far I was going, because it was just like, I see myself every day. I don't notice those changes. And that might be the same with you too, whether you're doing external healing, internal healing. If you're going to go to work and you're working, or you're going to college and you're working on your skills, like, if, let's say, if you're going to be an animator, you don't always have a reference between when you started working on your skill set to in the end. No matter how many years you're working on it, your reference is just from your perspective in the moment. And your perspective in the moment might need to shift and heal in a positive direction, so you can move forward with confidence that you are improving every step of the way. But you don't know that until you take a step back, look at your old projects. Like, if you're an artist, look at where you came from, look at how much you've improved. Like, or if you were working a job before like even a few years ago, like where were you financially? What things did you have? Were you living in the same place? You don't know how far you've come until you take a step back and view it from an outside perspective, because what the universe wants to tell you is you've come so far, honey. Like, you turned an Ace of Pentacles into a Ten of Pentacles. You turned an Ace of Wands into a Seven, and you're overcoming these challenges and making your dreams come true. But now it's a time to sit back and rest and reflect on how far you come so you can be proud of yourself. The universe is proud of you. The universe wants you to look in the mirror and see yourself for the beautiful light you are. Like, you have that lion in you. You have that lioness in you. You have that dog in you. You have that. So you need to look at yourself, because you're so amazing. I mean, it's so difficult to improve on a skill or to change your entire life for the better and for good. And God wants to say he's impressed with you. Your spirit guides and your higher self, they're super impressed and proud of you. So you are on the right track, dear soul family. You are. And yeah, so there's a lot of hopeful energy surrounding this. The star came out. And actually, as I got into this, I just want to say, I do feel like I can speak a little clearer. So you will end up in that energy of things might seem slow at first, but like I said before, it's better to um, slowly move forward than it is to spin your tires and go nowhere quickly, because it's just a slow and steady process, and it's at your own pace. Don't let anybody else determine the pace you're going at. And, spirit, the universe, your higher self is proud of you. And I'm also seeing, again, sunflowers. Some of you might be working on a project that you might feel and experience that. And if that's the case, like, keep going. Don't give up on your dreams. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, because what's the worst that it's going to do to you is, you just keep moving forward in your dreams. And I think that kind of struck a chord with someone, because I started stuttering. You look in the mirror. Hey, look in the mirror and cheer yourself on. Say, I'm going to do this. I'm not giving up on my dreams. Give yourself a freaking pep talk. If not me, then you. You don't need to hear these words from me. Go in the mirror and say it to yourself. I think that was a direct message to someone out there. So thank you for that. And let me see what else we have here. Live your dreams. You're getting out of these blockages that might be around you, because there might be stagnant energy. Yeah, because I was feeling that. But this feels like a more material stagnant energy of you feel like you're not where you need to be, which who's to say that? No one's here to define that but you. And if you're basing your definition on other people, then holy crud, we have the strength card. Well, there's the line. Ooh, I love it so much. Oh, look at that. She's right. She gets it. Y'all embrace that part of you that is that lion. You got this. You can overcome this. Just because things are moving slowly, just because it looks like on the surface the money ain't flowing in, doesn't mean it ain't gonna happen later, honey. You got this. Keep moving forward. You are the boss of your own life, the creator of your own destiny. Let it unfold. Tap into your creative energy. Also, take a look at any seventh house placements that might be coming up. If you have any like seventh house placements, or like fire signs that might be specific to a few of you. Seventh house is the house of relationships, transforming the way people see you or you see yourself, or maybe even just getting a new posse is what I'm hearing. You need to surround yourself with not yes men, but people who will almost be like an extra good head on your shoulders. People who will hype you up, but then like who will not talk you down. Hype you up, they won't talk you down, they won't put you down, but they will give you the truth. They're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not going to be yes men, in the sense where if you're going to go out and do something that is unrealistic or not something you should be doing or risky, they're just going to tell you it, but they're not going to dissuade you. They're still going to give you that love and support. So if you have anybody in your life, like, get them out if they're not supporting you. And just only take this message as it resonates. It could be for a few of you, you need to kind of cut cords or get rid of some toxic influences in your life. And you know this, and you might be hearing this a lot from me, because I'm going to be very honest. As always on this channel, I will not sugarcoat it. And I know that's not for everyone. And the thing is, I know that a lot of people will not like it. And in my own personal life, I might not be like that all the time, brutally honest, but I will give help and support up to a point. But I'm not going to lie to them. I am not going to just let them continue to go on a path that I know is not good. It's about finding people who have that middle ground and being that loving support, but also being so kind as to not let people make a very huge mistake, but also loving them even when they do make a mistake. It's sort of that type of energy. And if you find yourself in the same boat as I am, like if you're trying to be very upfront and honest with people and they take it the wrong way, even though you're coming from a place of genuine kindness, love, and empathy, they might not be for you either. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Like if you still have a side of you that's a people pleaser, and I'm hearing some of you do, let go of the part of you that needs to keep people in your life that can only accept people pleasers. Because if you have people around you who don't want the bad news or don't want the truth, of course they're going to say you're a mean person for saying something that rubs them the wrong way. You could say it in the nicest way possible. And believe you me, I know people who were that sensitive in such a way or insecure in themselves where I would have to say something if they were doing something wrong or they crossed a boundary. I could say it in the kindest way possible, almost like fighting to find the right words to get the right reaction, so I wouldn't look like I was bad and I wouldn't hurt their feelings, but I would still not allow them to get away with that behavior. And yet every single time I said no in the nicest way possible, the fact that I told them not to do something was enough for them to feel like I was being bad and manipulative. And unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes with some people. So just know it's not you. You can sit back all you want and say, well, I must be a bad person because I must have said it in the wrong way and I should apologize to them. No. If they do something to overstep their boundaries or your boundaries and to hurt you, and you say, don't do that, and they react poorly, that's on them, not you. And they're not people who should be around someone who is very kind and just wants to say things out of love that might not really, like, they might not agree with. Unfortunately, that's the truth of the situation. People just don't want to be told that they're not doing something that's kind. They don't want to be reminded of that. And so that might be for some of you who are almost releasing these people pleasing tendencies. And if there is this almost restriction in your throat chakra to speak the truth, it can be nerve-wracking because they are not going to react very well. They're going to react poorly, no matter what you say, no matter how you say it. And you are going to be okay. Sometimes it just takes learning that lesson that no matter how you say, please do not do this, or please respect me, it's not going to be taken well. The more that you adjust your behavior to almost accept that that's the truth in them, it's just going to be easier to move on, to have this place of respect for yourself. Because as long as you know you did the right thing, you didn't do anything that was upsetting, and as long as you understand their perspective is not always going to align with you, it's easier to move on, is what I'm saying. It's hard to kind of describe the process of unlearning people-pleasing habits, but you're going to be okay. It's just a matter of learning and taking a step back and reassessing these relationships. But it's ultimately, it's good for you. You're going to get through this. Like if you're seeing this message, you do have the strength and what it takes to overcome some of these blockages, because material blockages can almost manifest in the form of people trying to almost sabotage us. Because in the material world, if we are constantly putting ourselves out there and overextending ourselves, that's going to block a lot of abundance coming in. We're too busy giving to others in that case. We're focusing on other people's lives and how we can help them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if they're doing nothing but taking from you and you're not able to give to yourself, you're not going to have these blessings come in right away. It's going to come in slower because all of your energy and intentions are focused on outwards. You're giving, you're not receiving. So that might be something some of you need to hear, and you are not alone. If there's anything I want to say to give hope to you, you are not alone. You have what it takes to get through this. You got this. So keep in mind setting those boundaries, setting reasonable expectations, but doing a lot to keep to yourself and focus on your goals, and understanding that part of manifestation comes down to the energy we show ourselves and the intentions we set. Because if your actions or what you are wanting in the moment contradict some of what your manifestations might be, what you've been trying to get into your life or what your goals are, they're not going to come in. You have to get rid of what contradicts what you want. So if you have been manifesting or doing manifesting rituals, if you are setting your intentions or focusing on something that contradicts that, everything that contradicts it has to fall away, and it has to be done on its own. Because the more you focused in the opposite direction of what you want, what you need, and what your soul desires and what you've been setting intentions towards, the more likely it's going to be opposed in your life. You're not going to see it happening. You're refusing to let go of something that does not align with that. So you are on this path, and there's a lot of hope for you, but it's just about taking that slowdown time, because that's the universe granting you the time to be able to assess those things and give yourself permission to take it slow. And you don't have to explain to anyone why you're taking it slow, and don't feel ashamed for putting up boundaries and being very real with yourself, because let me tell you, it takes time. It takes a lot of perspective, but your higher self is very much cheering you on and is impressed with the work you've done. And just give yourself that time to heal, because I know you can do it. As far as I'm concerned, you've already done it. It's just about giving yourself that grace, that peace. So, is there anything else that wants to come through? Okay. So one thing I want to say, you're stepping into victory. The more you refuse to give up on your dreams, the more you let go of the people who let you down, the more likely you're stepping into this Knight of Points, this Knight of Pentacles energy. You are coming into a phase of victory. I think there might have been that one piece of the puzzle you needed, and it was to almost reframe where your energy is flowing in, what direction, where your focus is right now, and make sure it's focused on you and your manifestations. And anything that is your responsibility in your life right now, yeah, give it to that. But if there's anything that falls outside of that, that's extra, that's just baggage, write a list of what you absolutely need to take care of, your top priorities. Write a list of what your goals or manifestations are, and then write a list of the things that fall outside of it. See which ones contradict those first two things, and find a way to wean yourself off of it. And sometimes weaning yourself off of what does not serve you, especially if you see it on paper, it might seem like a lot, and it might just need to take a few months or so. It might need to take a year, because it took me 3 years to get to a point where I aligned with just like one of my manifestations. And a lot of it had to do with me putting too much time and energy on people I didn't need to, and things that didn't serve me, because there was just a lot of that, the background programming I had in me that I needed to take myself off of as a people pleaser, basically. So I know what it's like, and I am slowly learning to untangle myself from that version of me, and it's taking its time, but I'm healed to the point where I kind of get it. And it does take a lot of time to get that. So I'm just saying, we're in the same boat. I get it. I've reached this point. I am still healing, and it gets easier over time, and it's changed my life to reframe this process of manifestation, because it just makes everything fall in so much easier. And it gives me that chance to actually surrender so I can better align. So, whatever you've been working on, whatever you've been doing, these goals you are setting, you are meeting. I'm just saying that to you. You are meeting them. You are manifesting your destiny. You are in alignment. Just do what you need to do in this moment, in this time, to love you, focus on you. You are cherished by the universe and you are supported. We got your back, fam. The universe says to you, you can do this. So remember to talk to your higher self as well, and any spirit guides that are around you to help you be the best version of yourself, to be confident and embody that energy. Light yellow candles, go out in the sunshine, write down your thoughts, your hopes and dreams, and focus on that. Create a mood board. See yourself in that beautiful future with people who care about you and surrounded by so much happiness, and that will become your new life and your truth. Thank you once again, dear viewers, for tuning into this reading. I wish you the best of luck and see you again in another message.